Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is the last day of May, May 31st, 2018. Strong hand. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable. All right, people, let's just jump right into this show, because you know to check out the link section below, because everything I talk about in this show will be linked to below. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is a tweet from Matt Odell, and it is just going to start this show on the right foot. I don't need to convince you that you need Bitcoin. I don't care if you buy some. If I'm right, you'll understand the importance of sound money eventually. Until then, I'll be taking advantage of the lack of awareness to accumulate more Bitcoin than you. I like that attitude. Yeah, so 80%ers are going to be 80%ers. I bet they won't. They'll never be aware. Who cares? But for now, accumulate as much as you can and let them complain later on. No regrets, people. No regrets. I like the attitude, Matt. You're in motion. And we're going to talk about a lot of people in motion, including I'm going to be in Boca Raton in motion on the 12th of June, which is in a few days, I guess, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Link to below that event. Also, bitconsult.co. He's a cool dude. He has an article that I linked to below because he's in motion. He contacted me a while ago about his article, Who Wants to Be a Bitcoin Millionaire? And he talks about holding and being patient. He actually wants to design like a game, a video game or something. Get a programmer to create a game where you enter in all these, I guess, attributes of yourself. If you're a holder, if you've got a strong hand, and to see how fast you become a million. I forgot the whole concept. Hey, but if you're interested in working on something like that, email me at adam@tresorhelp.com, and I will contact BitConsult. Or you can just look at his, or contact him directly. He's linked to below, his blog, and read his story. All right. And, I like to promote my buddies who I've met in person, like the great Vortex. He is speaking tomorrow at the Century City meetup. That's put on by Anders, who I actually know also in person. And I know other guys in the Los Angeles Century City Bitcoin meetup. And that is tomorrow. Vortex is speaking there. That link is below. It's for the meetup. So sign up there if you want to see Vortex tomorrow. And you know what? Vortex is also speaking at the Bitcoin Rodeo in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, home of Brett the Hitman Hart. On July 9th and 10th, I'm speaking there also. Bitcoin Benny is speaking there. He's been on the show here before. Francis Pulo, however you say Francis's name, is speaking there. He's been on the show before. Rodolfo Novak will be speaking there. It is going to be the ultimate Bitcoin adventure in Western Canada. And it's during the Calgary Stampede. Obviously, I'm very excited about it. We will see how ICO it gets. Who knows? I think it's going to be pretty Bitcoiny. I'm going to be there. And if those guys are going to be there, it's going to be darn Bitcoiny. Is Bitcoiny a word? Pound that like button. All right. Also, one of the great, who told me to say this here? John Chesterfield. Was it you who told me to say this? In Las Vegas tomorrow. So there's a lot going on tomorrow on June the 1st. If you're in Los Angeles, you got something to do. If you're in Las Vegas, you've got something to do besides watch hockey. And that sounds so weird. Watching hockey in Las Vegas. The world has definitely changed, hasn't it? Especially since 1967, right? You NHL fans, look at me flexing my knowledge of NHL expansion. How I even know these things is because I was a kid who used to just read so many statistics about sports, you wouldn't even believe it. Anyway, but in Las Vegas, in Las Vegas tomorrow, there's going to be the Las Vegas meetup. And I don't link to it below, but here at Jackson's Bar and Grill, The meeting is at Jackson's Bar and Grill. Is this what the thing that Thomas puts on? I assume this is what Thomas puts on. It's at Jackson's Bar and Grill. It's at the corner of Flamingo and South Jones. The first meeting is on Friday, June the 1st, 2018 at 7 p.m. That's 7 p.m. Las Vegas time. So if you're in Las Vegas, stop gambling right now. Stop smoking. Stop doing horrible things to your body and go to this event at 7 p.m. at the corner of Flamingo and South Jones. I believe I ran that far west one of the times I went running in Vegas when I visited Vegas. And I would run like at 6 in the morning before it gets deathly hot because it's located in the middle of the desert and they shouldn't have even built a city there. Okay, so let's continue. Tomorrow, also tomorrow on this very channel, 1 p.m., tune in This Week in Bitcoin. That's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. in Las Vegas and Los Angeles. Tawanda Kembo will be on the show along with hopefully 2 other guests. Tawanda is going to tell us everything that's going on in Zimbabwe with Bitcoin. There have been developments there. The government, in their infinite wisdom, is now they're not making Bitcoin illegal. Great, but Tawanda always has great news because he's in charge of the biggest Bitcoin exchange, or the only Bitcoin exchange in Zimbabwe. I bring you people on the ground in these controversial countries. Okay, that's what you get on this BitcoinMeister channel. That's why it's the best channel out there, baby. Pound that like button. I appreciate all the support, all you people. You guys know who you are, and we all love Tawanda. And yeah, I've hung out with Tawanda in South Africa, in Zimbabwe. I'm in motion, baby. You should be in motion. Tawanda's in freaking motion. Andreas Antonopoulos is in motion. He's got a new video out there, and I linked to it below. He's got a few new ones out there, and it's titled something about the weird people. And it's okay if you got to watch the whole thing because he really ties it together nicely at the end. I think it's like 16 minutes. At first he's talking about gentrification and the kind of neighborhoods he likes to live in. And you know what? Andreas does not have the same experience as we all have different experiences living in different neighborhoods that experience so-called gentrification or that are being accused of gentrification. I don't know if he should have used that terminology because it probably turns some people off, but make it through his video. And the point is this of his video is that there's some crazy wild people in Bitcoin. And in the past, there were some crazy wild people in the internet, but they all got walled off and corporations took over. And now everybody's on Facebook, and to a certain extent, there is still a lot of freedom on the internet, but at the same time, it has been co-opted in many ways. Well, his point is that Bitcoin cannot be co-opted. It cannot be taken over. The so-called weird people, and I'm not going to call them the weird people, the 20%ers, the smart people, the people with conviction, okay, that define what Bitcoin is, they will continue because the answer to force is secession. And in most places in the world, you just can't secede from your country. It gets taken over by whatever force there is, and you got to deal with it. But here in Bitcoin, if some ulterior motive for force, if some dark side tries to take over Bitcoin, they can't do it. They'll either have to fork off or the real Bitcoin will fork off. And it's exactly what happened with the SegWit 2x thing. If they would have been successful, if they would have had a successful fork, they would never have been thought of as the real Bitcoin. Bitcoin cannot be taken over. That is the point of Andreas's video. It's a good video, but you got to watch the whole thing through to fully get the full force of it, because you might be turned off by some of the things he says at the beginning. Hey, and that's the cool thing that's about Bitcoin. We don't all agree on everything. We don't say everything the same way. He's definitely coming from a different political slant than many of us are, and I don't even like politics. He gets into social justice type of whatever. I'm not going to diss the dude. But that's the cool thing. In the end of the day, that we do agree about the basics of Bitcoin, that you can't take it over. It's, have a strong hand. He doesn't say strong hand. I say strong hand, but you get the picture. Watch the video. Andreas is always great, no matter what slant he's got going on over there. All right. So ICO investors need to take some personal responsibility. There's an article in CoinDesk. I don't really care what CoinDesk says, but when I mention them, it's because it's to kind of, they bring up a subject and then I expand upon it to something completely different. They say that disillusioned token investors demand real talk about risk. Okay, dude, if you're getting into ICOs, you better expect there to be risk. Don't. This isn't going to be all nice and rainbows and skittles and ponies. No, it's your own fault. If you get ripped off there, if they're not telling you the whole truth, then don't invest in ICOs. You don't have to invest in ICOs. You can avoid ICOs. They don't have to tell you the darn truth. It's out there that they're mostly pump and dumps. Some of them don't even mean to be pump and dumps, but they are pump and dumps. They end up being that way. Avoid them. They don't have to tell you a darn thing. They don't have to tell you the truth. They don't have to, you could demand real talk and about them, and that they should warn everyone. They say that they don't have to give you a darn thing. It says it. But here we go. A comment under the article, in these mainstream articles, usually the comments are the best if they allow comments. And this comment pretty much puts it all in perspective. All 90% of ICO investors, about 90% of ICO investors don't give a darn about the project. They don't read the white paper. They only check the group stats on Telegram, with their only contribution being when Lambo. Then they jump in with their ethers for initial pump when the coin gets listed on exchanges, after which they jump off to the next new high interest ICO, rinse and repeat. So, okay, yeah, that's your ICO type of investor. So if you're like a true investor that, wants to know about fundamental, this is not your fundamental type of thing, guys. There are no fundamentals in the ICO thing right now. Maybe there will be one day, but don't complain now because there aren't. And take personal responsibility. If you got into it and you got ripped off, hey, it's your fault. You should have got Bitcoin. All right. But there are no shoulda, wouldas, and couldas in cryptocurrency. There really aren't. Don't say shoulda. I shouldn't have said shoulda. I wasn't saying shouldas for me. Anyway, I never say shoulda for me. But you shouldn't say shoulda for yourself. Just move on and make a good move. Make the right move the next time. That's how you gotta think of things. All right. And remember, I'm TechBalt, TechBalt on Twitter, BitcoinMeister on Steemit. Tweet of the day or picture of the day on Twitter is a guy out there. Who's this? Thomas 873351273. He sent me this. It's a magazine cover from Norway that says Bitcoin. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not reading Norwegian magazines while I'm here, nor am I going to the stores that have. Maybe I should go check out the corner store, see if they got Norwegian magazines that say Bitcoin on the front of them. But he took a photo for me, so I don't have to do that. All right. So earlier in the day, which was like the middle of the day, which was like 5 p.m. in Brisbane, Australia, I was on a pretty new show. It's I guess 9 months old, 6 months old. I don't know. It's a unique show. It's hosted by a woman who's really into cryptocurrency. Her name's Purusha. She contacts me. She's like, be on my show. I was like, well, it's got a good amount of subscribers to it. And you're an Australian accented woman with a cryptocurrency show. I haven't seen anything like that before. So I went on her show. We had a good time. I linked to it below. So check it out. Subscribe to her channel if you like what she's about. It was a good time. She's got a real interest in Bitcoin. We talked about Be Private, and we talked about other things too, like cats. And it was a little bit beyond Bitcoin there for all you people. And yeah, there's some guys that just like to look at hot women. If you like to do that, then look at her. She's pretty hot. So let's go. Hey, but no, she does know about it's not just a pretty face out there, dudes. I'm not, remember, don't put the women on the pedestal. Don't put them on the pedestal. But if you're going to learn something, you're going to learn something. Hey, and I was on the show. It's Bitcoin. Let's get more people into this thing, male or female. And that's what I was telling her too. There are hardly any women in this, but I'm not trying to get women into this. I just want the best of the best. If women come in naturally, that is awesome. She came in naturally. All right. So Nick Rodriguez has a has a comment he left on my I think it was in the chat yesterday. I don't understand. Oh, before I say that, for all you Steam It fans out there, I told her she should get into Steam It because of course she's gonna do good. Anyway, so that's the way the world works. But everyone should get into Steam It, not just women. Everyone, all you dudes, be in motion. So Nick Rodriguez said, "I don't understand the crypto markets anymore. Some of these coins are pumping on catastrophic news." No, actually, Nick, you do understand. If you're able to recognize that, you see that there are no fundamentals in these altcoins, that it's all cyclical, that, yeah, one day one could like have the biggest controversy in the world, then the next day it pumps. There's a bunch of pump groups out there. It's like the ICO thing I was just saying. People go to their Telegram groups. You know, and I am not even on Telegram or any of those darn things. I'm so proud of that fact. I mean, how much social media can I be on? It's so funny. Someone told me, this is a friend, you know, a guy that I know from Bitcoin, a good guy. And I was telling him, I was on Skype before, but I'm not on it anymore because I was on it through my own personal Facebook account. And they canceled that because they don't want to work with Facebook anymore. But I don't have a BitcoinMeister Facebook. I'm not on Telegram. I don't have Skype and all these other, I don't have a cell phone. And he's like, Adam, man, it's like it's like you're away from social media totally. And that's kind of like, it's so funny because that's just totally forgetting. I do a new video on YouTube every single day of my life. I have 1,000 videos out there. So I'm quite active in social media. I can't do everything though. And I've got a pretty active Twitter account. But I mean, I've literally hours upon hours of me on YouTube. Too much. I could never watch it all. My God. Who could watch themselves? I mean, I never watch my own videos or anything like that. But so, yeah, that might give a better explanation of why I'm not on all of your little social media things out there and why I can't be. Because this is pretty time consuming. And dude, through YouTube alone, I'm really on a lot of social media, if you want to call this social, whatever you want to call this. Okay, so Money Tricks has a tweet out there. And it's actually a retweet of the blockchain.info people were bragging that they have 25 million crypto wallets. The most popular crypto wallet in the world with 25 million wallets. And Money Trig says, quick bot to keep registering those bogey wallets to get investors. So I did think about it. I'm like, you know what? If I was well, I can see, not me personally, but I can see how if one was in charge of a company like this that's trying to get funding, that it's a pretty big win when you can say your company has more crypto wallets than anyone on earth. 25 million is a huge number. You would just set up some bot that would set up a bunch of, because there are not that many people that have Bitcoin. 25 million people on this planet don't have Bitcoin right now. And again, you could have multiple wallets, or a lot of these wallets are ones that people messed up on, that are completely abandoned. Someone that starts a new one every time. I don't know. Maybe they had their bots make them too. Interesting theory. Interesting theory by Money Tricks. And again, how many people did I even think have a Bitcoin on this planet now? I don't even know. We came up with a number once. I don't even remember. If it's 1% of 5 billion is of 7 billion, excuse me. 1% of 7 billion is 70 million. Then so 7 million. Yeah, obviously there's not 25 million. All right, so Tordemeister says German Postbank surveyed 31,000 citizens. 3% own cryptocurrencies. Look, here we go. 39% interested in investing in it. So, okay, and the tweet goes on. Main reasons: independence from central bank policy and profitability. Okay, so that's a lot. 3% of German citizens possibly own cryptocurrency. That's high. That's high. But it's a very Western modern country there. Very Western modern country. So that's just some insight into a modern country. I thought that was interesting. Okay, Finally, before I say pound that like button, we started this with a Matt Odell tweet, and we will end it with a Matt Odell tweet that's very inspirational. And this is from the offended by selling category. When you sell Bitcoin, you're basically climbing back into the burning ship that you just escaped. All right, everybody. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Do check out the notes section below. Pound that like button. I'll say hi to you guys over in the chat now. Bye.